This is the Financial News Network. I'm Christy Duffy. Apple shares are down nearly 1 1/3% now, moving into afternoon trade on Tuesday, coming out of a much deeper dip from earlier in the trading day. The tech giant is declining on the uncertainty surrounding its leader, Steve Jobs, who announced he will be taking a medical leave of absence. The executive says he will remain involved in major strategic decisions for the company. In recent years, Jobs has twice stepped aside from his duties, receiving a liver transplant in 2009 and successfully battling pancreatic cancer in 2004. He did not disclose what illness he is now being treated for or when he expects to return. Getting more details now on what this means for investors, Brian Marshall of Gleacher Co joins us live. Good morning, Brian.
Thanks, Christy.
So not only is there panic among investors surrounding the state of innovative CEO Steve Jobs, but the company is scheduled to report fiscal first quarter 2011 earnings this afternoon. What do you think the company will have to say about Jobs' announcement on the call?
Well, obviously, this is an unfortunate recurring pattern, and we are saddened to see Steve, come under health issues once again. I don't think we're going to hear much from the company other than what Steve already put out in email, and so, I would expect the company to focus on, what they have at hand, and that's probably 16 million iPhones, 6 million iPads, and 4 million Macs. So I think they'll let the numbers speak for themselves. We expect well over $24 billion in revenue for the December timeframe, and that'll translate into earnings of $5.50. So we think that the timing of this announcement is not coincidental with the earnings tonight, so we do expect positive numbers tonight.
And the stock dropped to around $328 earlier today on the news. It's now creeping back up to regain its strength where it closed on Friday's trading day around $343 before this announcement. So should investors be worried, or does the stock historically bounce back rather quickly to where it was, considering we can look back at the past decade and how investors have reacted to Jobs' past medical leaves of absence?
Yeah, that's a good question, Chris. I mean, if you look at it, in 2004, the one-day reaction was down about 2.5%. In 2009, the one-day reaction was down about 5%. So I'm a little bit perplexed by the lack of weakness today and the rally that we're seeing today. Clearly, with the stock only down, almost 2%. Investors feel pretty comfortable, or I think they're hopeful that Steve does return. Actually, I think that probably, unfortunately, won't be the case. I think Tim Cook will be the next CEO of the firm, and I think that gets announced on a full-time basis later this year is my expectation. Hopefully, Steve, battles successfully whatever's ailing him currently and is able to serve as perhaps chairman of Apple's board or senior advisor. So that would be my expectations. But I'm a little surprised of the lack of weakness in the stock today.
All right, and of course, again, back to earnings today after the bell. What are your projections for the first quarter of 2011?
Sure. So if you look at what we're expecting, for their fiscal Q1, which is the December timeframe, again, we expect iPhones of 16 million, iPad of 6 million, Mac of 4 million. And that'll translate into earnings of north of $5.52. So that's where we think numbers are going to come into play, and it should be pretty positive.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what they report and what they say about Jobs on the call. So we'll be looking forward to any updates on his health, and we wish him all the best in a speedy recovery from whatever may be ailing him. Thank you very much, Brian, for speaking with us.
Great. Thank you, Christy. Take care.
For further updates, stay tuned to the Financial News Network. I'm Christy Duffy.